Hello dear friends, today we will tell you about how men dressed in the past. You will be surprised by this story. Watch the video until the end to understand what happened to this style. Zoot Suit Riots were a series of conflicts that occurred in June 1943 in Los Angeles between U.S. servicemen and Mexican-American youths, the latter of whom wore outfits called zoot suits. The riots took their name from the baggy suits worn by many minority youths during that era. But the violence was more about racial tension than fashion. American servicemen and white Angelenos attacked and stripped children, teenagers, and youths who wore zoot suits, ostensibly because they considered the outfits, which were made from large amounts of fabric, to be unpatriotic during World War II. Rationing of fabrics and certain foods was required at the time for the war effort. While most of the violence was directed toward Mexican-American youth, African-American and Filipino-American youths who were wearing zoot suits were also attacked. The zoot suit, occasionally spelled zoot suit, is a men's suit with high-waisted, wide-legged, tight-cuffed, peg trousers, and a long coat with wide lapels and wide padded shoulders. The zoot suit originated in an African-American comedy show in the 1930s and was popularized by jazz singers. Cab Calloway called them totally and truly American, and a young Malcolm X wore them. This style of clothing cultivated a sense of racial pride and significance. However, the fashion statement soon made its way into the wardrobes of young Southern California Mexican-Americans, Italians, and Filipinos, who became the quintessential wearers of the zoot suit. The transfer and sharing of the zoot suit fashion indicated a growing influence of African-American popular culture. Additionally, analysis of the Los Angeles Zoot Suit Riot and journalists and politicians and the outfit's connections with race relations, slang, jazz music, and dance permit an understanding of the politics and social significance of what is trivial in itself, popular culture and its attendant styles. The zoot suit was originally a statement about creating a new wave of music and dress, but it also held significant political meaning. The flamboyant and colorful material indicated a desire to express oneself against the boring and summer slum lifestyle. The zoot suit provided young African-American and Mexican youth a sense of individualistic identity within their cultures and society as they discovered highly charged emotional and symbolic meaning through the movement, music, and dress. The zoot suit typically included bright-colored fabric, long suit coats that often reached the knees, wide shoulders, and gathered or tapered pants. The arm and ankle areas were often much tighter than the rest of the fabric, giving the whole look a triangular shape. Often the suit was paired with accessories such as chains and leather-soled shoes, which were typically worn to exaggerate and prove a point of rebellion, standing against the wealth and status that many of these youth were unable to access due to their economic and racial identities. The urban, Mexican-American youth often called themselves pachucos. The female parallels were called pachucas and wore tight sweaters and relatively full, flared skirts, often paired with high hairdos, large earrings, and heavy makeup. Many young Mexican-American women who were not pachucas avoided these clothing styles and hairstyles in order to avoid being seen as troublemakers by white people. Some women even reported that they had heard of pachucas hiding knives in their hair. Restrictions on wool had a direct effect on the manufacture of wool suits and other clothing. There were regulations prohibiting the manufacturing of zoot suits, but a network of bootleg tailors continued to manufacture them. The Zoot Suit Riots are commonly associated with the Sleepy Lagoon murder, which occurred in August 1942. On the night of August 1, 1942, zoot suiters were involved in a fight at a party near the Sleepy Lagoon. The next morning, one of the partygoers, Jose Diaz, was dead. There was public outcry against the zoot suiters, fueled by local tabloids. During the period from 1942 through 1943, the news media continued to portray the zoot suiters as dangerous gang members who were capable of murder. On the basis of the news reports, more and more people began to believe that the Mexican-American youths, particularly the zoot suiters, were predisposed to committing crime. It was in this racially charged atmosphere that the conflict between predominantly white servicemen stationed in Southern California and Mexican-American youths in the area began. This exacerbated racial tensions, as Mexican-American youths wearing the zoot suits were seen as un-American because they were deliberately ignoring the rationing regulations. Thanks for watching our video. You can watch other stories with historical and amazing facts in our other videos.